success, the American dream, capitalism, entrepreneurship, opportunity. The people we're talking to in your quick rundown of people who've accumulated wealth, almost universally are self-made. And so these are not people of privilege. These are people who are successful. And I think it's really important for us to separate those two groups, right? There are people who are born into privilege, and there are people who created immense value in the world, whether that's Jeff or Elon or Larry and Sergey. And we should be celebrating them, and we need more of them in America. And what we really need in America, to the point of income inequality, is for us to copy, maybe what Australia does with their super funds, people being forced to put into the market and have their retirement savings there, or maybe even the freedom dividend, where when you're born in America, we put $2,000, in the NASDAQ and the Dow for you to claim when you're 65. We need more participation in equity. That's why I'm super proud to be an investor in Robinhood.
Casey, anything wrong with this billionaire boom? You see the names, you see the money, $360 billion added during the devastation of the pandemic.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's wrong with the billionaire boom is just the insane and growing inequality in this country, right? During the last presidential administration, we cut taxes in a significant way, which undermined the social safety net and made it harder for future Jeff Bezoses and Mark Zuckerbergs to come along. So I don't have any particular problem with, any individual billionaire being successful. I want people to be able to start companies and to be successful. But these guys have also become avatars for some real problems in this country. And I think it's probably no coincidence that we've seen many of them lean a little extra harder into philanthropy than in Jeff Bezos' case they ever had done before.
The question, Jason, becomes,
what does it even mean, avatars? What does it mean, avatars? I mean,
well,
they're human beings who worked hard.
They're also, sort of the most highly visible beneficiaries of the income inequality in this country. And so they're going to be on the receiving end of a lot more criticism. And I think, if
by
they
who?
want
The
to
press? By the woke press that's, looking to get headlines. That's who's doing it. What does it even mean? It means that I think the press loves to dunk on successful billionaires while they make the largest contributions in the history of philanthropy. It's never enough for the New York Times and the press. All you do is criticize, these, entrepreneurs, and they're giving away money at a tremendous rate. We should be lauding them. They shouldn't be avatars for, our criticism. They should be celebrated. $10 billion to climate change from Jeff. Elon gave $100 million to carbon sequestration for the X Prize. These are things that have never been done in the history of humanity. We should be celebrating them, not vilifying them.
Yeah, I mean, Jason, if you think that's impressive, you should see what we could do with tax revenue.
Okay. What aren't we doing that we need to do? I mean, we've got one of the top countries in the world when it comes to opportunity. Everybody wants to come to this country. And listen, I'm not some crazy right-winger saying this. I'm voting Democrat. I'm anti-Trump. I was anti the tax cuts. They were completely unnecessary. But, this is still the greatest country in the world for a reason.
Let me ask you this.
Because of entrepreneurship.
Let me ask you this, Jason. I mean, you say it's, the media has the issue, blah, blah, blah. Could this
subsection of the media has the
Could this,
issue.
in fact, invite politicians? More regulation, right? They're already zeroed in,
of course,
Jason, on what's going on in big tech. Is this yet another reason to have them take a real big look? We mentioned this week the Biden administration has already appointed 2 new people with regulatory chops and antitrust background. Is that the next step?
I mean, did they place Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders in any positions? Of course not. It's a ridiculous position to attack billionaires for being successful. America is built on entrepreneurship. We should love these and cherish these companies because you know what? When we build capitalism and democracy together, that fights against communism plus capitalism. And that really is the existential threat in all of this. And there's a reason why we elected the most boring moderate candidate we could. And they basically exiled Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. The majority of Americans don't want that. The noisy media and Twitter folks who want to be woke and say capitalism is horrible and billionaires need to be stopped and we need to have a wealth tax and we have to somehow redistribute their wealth. They don't have to worry about redistributing the wealth. Rich people give it all away. That is the overwhelming trend we're seeing in our lifetime.